In the planning process, Wayne, people go to their attorneys, they'll draft their documents, and then there's a problem that for my clients, often half of their estate is driven by beneficiary contracts. What do you see in practice that people do with their beneficiaries?
They think they know what they say. That's the biggest mistake. The biggest mistake is they tell me that they know what they say. And and the worst thing is sometimes they're right about the first beneficiary. It's a second beneficiary. Because by the time they die, most of the time the second beneficiary is the most important one. And they haven't named one. Sure. Not have they not thought about it. They haven't even named one. And they don't remember it. They don't know. They don't realize that beneficiaries trump everything. Because literally, other than your house, most of my clients' assets are controlled by beneficiaries. Most of their net worth is controlled by beneficiaries. And so how are we going to wrap that into what our trust? Because we made a trust, we made a will, we said we're going to leave Johnny the wealth. I've had special needs kids that were disinherited because they forgot to change the beneficiary. And it was the ex-wife. And the ex-wife didn't care.
And what type of products, what type of accounts are beneficiary driven?
Life insurance, IRAs, annuities, bank accounts, almost every financial asset you've got. Bank accounts is about 50-50, but a lot of my clients make those payable on death, and that is a beneficiary. That overrides whatever your will says, whatever your trust says, that document. And sometimes people get so gung-ho about beneficiaries that they name whoever, their kids, whoever they love, beneficiary on everything, and the executor has no cash to pay bills because everything is paid out and there's no money left in the estate to pay bills. You have to think through. I'll almost guarantee you, if you're listening to me, your beneficiaries are wrong. Well, if you're my client, maybe not. But if you're listening to me, your beneficiaries are wrong. I haven't done an audit that I look at ownership, I look at beneficiaries, I look at documents, look at what you want, that they've been right.
Yeah, there's been
thousands of them.
A recent law change around IRAs and what can happen on that side. Do you see those needing to be updated as a result of the Secure Act?
Well, you need to, what's happened is that rather than being able to carry IRAs on into maybe your grandkids' lives, in 10 years, they got to be paid out. And so you have to think about that, how that's going to affect everybody. I think most of the time, you still want to leave that. Most of the time, if you're going to give to charity, you should do it through your beneficiaries. That's the best way, because that's the best asset
in
to
your
leave.
IRAs, in your traditional IRAs.
In your IRAs, because that's the best asset to leave charity. They don't have to pay taxes on it. Kids, if they get that, they do have to pay taxes. So kids get more, charities get the same, Congress gets less. Most people, other than Congress, likes that equation. And so it is important what we do with beneficiaries. It's probably one of the most critical pieces of what we do. I preach about trusts and wills and trying to get everybody to do their powers of attorney and their medical directives and get 18-year-olds to do that. But beneficiaries are as important as anything. And people kind of say, once it's done, it's over. And, when you first got a life insurance policy, your parents probably were the beneficiary. And then you got married, and then you got divorced, and then you got a business partner, and then you divorced the business partner. And, every time that happens, you need to think life changes. Life changes, and your financial plan is dynamic. And so how we deal with beneficiaries, how we deal with your estate plan, that has to be dynamic too. So go get in writing confirmation of what all your beneficiaries are. And I think you'll be surprised. And remember, your first beneficiary, your spouse, may die with you or before you. And so it's really your second beneficiary. Go review your beneficiaries today. It's important.